Hello, hobbyists, and welcome to this first ever Snap Ships Tactics report, where I will be playing the Scarab KLAW Interceptor. Paul, tell me what are you playing over there?
I am playing the Sabre XF-23 fighter.
All right. If you watched last year's Gen Con video, you know that I went and demoed this game. Paul and I have played 2 games of this. So are we ready to do a battle report of it? I don't know. You're just going to have to enjoy with us as we look over the book about 1,000 times, probably mess things up. So once again, since we are completely new to this, I want you to, of course, let me know if there needs to be any changes or anything like that, or mess anything up or all that. So in this box, we get 2 booklets, one for the Sabre and one for the Scarab with pre-built fighters in them. Fortunately, my camera wants to not focus. There we go. So anyways, and there's some glare on there. We're so sorry. So anyways, Scarab, there are 3 ships in each of these. Plans for these battle reports, Paul and I are going to play through each one of these fighters, pre-built fighters. Then what we're going to do is Paul and I are going to build our own fighters and give a little fun. My plan is, if this is a lot of fun, me and Paul really like it. It's like Star Wars X-Wing, but building your own starship. If Paul and I really like it, well, I guess we're just going to have to, well, get some more fighter parts and build more fighters. So anyways, the plan today is to do the first fighter itself. Again, that's a Scarab KLAW Interceptor, and for Paul, that's a Sabre XF-23. So anyways, our board here is the fancy old Fantasy Flight X-Wing. So, obstacles here. We got debris cloud and ion clouds, I believe they call it. Anyways, debris here, or all this stuff, is actually not lethal like it is in X-Wing. It's actually useful for you. So we'll go through the turn by turn to show you all how the game functions and all of that. The basic premise of what Paul and I are trying to do today: blow each other up. Now, do be mindful, this is the first time I am attempting to record anything like this on my camera. So if it looks kind of strange and odd, that's because I'm just trying to learn how to record this style of game. It feels a lot like X-Wing, so maybe it'll record like X-Wing, I don't know. You can always give me pointers down in the comments. So the first thing Paul and I need to do is determine player number 1. The game comes with its own unique dice. Paul and I will have to share them. I don't have enough. But anyways, it comes with its own unique dice. Whoever scores the highest is player number 1. So there is no choice in this. Whoever scores bigger automatically gets it. So I got a 5. Paul got a 1. I am player number 1. As you can see, our fighters happen to be off the board right now. That's actually how the game works. We actually start with the fighters coming on the board. So since I am player number 1, we've set up our terrain. We have everything to go. It is time for deployment. So I get to be placed anywhere on the board, but I must be touching the edge. So I'm going to come in, I think I'm going to come in over there. I am touching the edge. And now we move into this down here. So anyways, this snapshot uses different little cards, and we'll talk about it. First up, on this card here, we have this green arrow. That is your evasion. So every time you begin, you reset your evasion back to its standard. For me, it's a 3, so I'm already set to 3. Then we vent cubes. We all have 7 blue cubes, each me and Paul, and the red cubes are heat, so we auto-generate those. We only have a limited number of blue cubes we can use. So we would vent 5 blue and red from our cards over here. We don't have anything to vent. Now, if I get a turn, I cannot use the turn, or I can fully use the turn, mattering how I feel. So I get to do a turn 1. Okay, so how does that work? We got this little tool. I'm going to try to do this all one-handed, like the greatest content creator you've ever seen. So I'm now going to put this here. So basically, I can turn this way or this way one click, or I can do it partially, not at all, or anything like that. So I'm going to put the camera down to turn myself. So that's where I ended up with my turn. Now, the next object on this card here is a movement. I don't have to turn, but I have to move. So again, I'm going to put now the small side of my guy up on my facing there. And then I'm going to move him over here, and by the snap of my fingers, he'll have done it. And look at that, folks. Like I said, he magically moves. Power of editing. You didn't see a thing. All right. Now, after that, we work on these cards. Each of these cards are associated with parts on my ship. So when you build your own ship, you select these cards associated with the ship. So I believe there's like point values on which you can attach all the ships. Like I said, Paul and I will get into that once we play our Force battle report. But anyways, to activate these things, you can see they got cubes on them. So I need to use my blue and my red. There's no limit of how much I can activate here. There's a limit on the blue cubes. There's no limit on the red cubes. Now, if you see cards with 2 here, it literally means that I must choose either or. I can't just do 2 blue cubes and then do 2 blue-red. Now, if there is ever cubes on any one of these cards when I restart my turn, I cannot use that card until I vent the cube. So say, for instance, next turn, I don't vent, say, 5 cubes, all the cubes off my SB3 tri-thruster, I cannot use the abilities of my FB tri-thruster, even though, say, I only used bottom one. I'm going to put my blue and red cubes here for you all, then show you it all once again with the magic of editing. So by the power of magic of editing, I have now ended up there. So what did I do? So I used my fin for 1. So I turned 1, hit there. Then I did 2 for my thruster, allowing me to gain an extra evasion, and then going up long. That's how I landed there. That is nice, Cloud. I now vented a cube, so I vented my cube from my fin. Then I used my cockpit to gain 2 more evasion because I targeted myself. So with that, that is the end of my turn. So that's it. I stay there, and now Paul is now going to bring in his ship and do the exact same thing I did.
I'm actually going to come in right about here.
Okay.
Now, my first move, my evasion is at 2. It's already set.
You know what, folks? You didn't get to see me do all my stuff. I'm going to let Paul show you how it's actually done.
Right, so I've already got myself set. Now, my evasion is already set at 2, so you can actually see there on the dice, I have it at 2. The 15, if you wonder, that's my actual...
Yes, that's the armor value.
Right, so once it gets to 0, Paul's a dead man.
I am a 13 armor value on mine.
Now, I do not have any cubes on anything, so I can't vent up to 5. Again, just like Tyler said, I could, if, for example, I'm just going to use this for example. Let's say I would have had 2 here. We're going to use, for example, 2 and 1 here. And let's say I had 1 and 3 there. I'd used all that so far. Remember, you can use up to 7 blue cubes. Reds are technically infinite. At this point, I could remove up to 5 cubes. I could remove all of this, which is 5 cubes total, after I mess everything up. Go figure. I could remove all that. The reds just go back in a pile. Blues would go back over here. Or, had I so desired, let's say I really want to use my missile pad again. I could have got rid of all 4 of those and just got rid of 1 of these. Still can't use this. Can't use it again while it's clear, but I could use my missile pad again if I wanted to. But in this case, since this is round 1, I have nothing.
Yep.
So now, don't need there. Mine is, I can either turn one way or the other. We'll input this up here just for everyone to see. I can either turn 1 to the left, 1 to the right, or partial or none. I'm actually going to choose to stay where I'm at, but I have to take 1 long, whereas his was the short. Mine, as you can see on the card, I'll pull my blue card, bring it closer for you to see. Mine, I can up to 1 left, 1 right, but I have to do the 1 long. So what you're going to see is mine is going to actually jump a lot further if I don't mess it up. There we go. And so that is the end of my movement phase. So now,
Hard phase.
right, ship your hard phase, your parts. I can go and do whatever I want to. So in this case, I could look at it. And so in the parts cards,
you do 1 at a time.
Right. So for example, this one, if I want to use my maneuvering fins, I pay 1 blue cost, and I can move 1 left or 1 right. If I want to pay 2 blue cubes, I can move up to 2 left or 2 right. So the question I have for Tyler while we're alive, could I move 1? Well, I guess it wouldn't matter to move 1 way and 1 back to the same thing. So never mind. I could, but it wouldn't do any good.
Yeah, be a little weird.
Now for this one, like for this one right here that I have, if I want to pay 2 blue and 1 red, then I could do a small jump. Is that and or force?
So that's a small, so you would come out on your, so you would be jumping. I'll just show it. You would be jumping either from this corner or that corner.
Okay, so
You basically move like sideways.
okay, the size okay, there you go.
Turn 1.
Now for those that are attacks, if I wanted to, these, when you look at these right here, this tells you your range. Lowest one's range 1, middle one's range 2. So this is a range 1-2 shot, which would be utilizing these sticks right here. So if I was to go right here, just for explanation, I cannot use this because it is a range 1-2 shot. There's nothing I could do. So, however, the other one I have, if I wanted to, now I'm not this time, but this is a range 2-3 shot. And so what that means is over here, I can't within range 1, I could within range 2-3, as you can see. So if I wanted to launch some missiles, I could. I'm not, but I could if I wanted to. For me in this case, in this movement, I'm actually going to utilize one of my blues, and I'm actually going to maneuver I'm going to do 1, and I'm just going to go 1 over here.
It's a 1 turn.
Oh, it's just 1 turn, forgive me. I'm thinking the other one. So I'm going to turn this direction, but I'm going to go half. And that is, I can continue on if I want to, but I'm not out of blue cubes.
Much as you want, for 1 action at a time.
However, in this case, actually, you know what? Just for the sake of the channel, I'm going to use my wings, which is 2 blue and a red. I actually explained that a minute ago. And so this time, I'm actually going to choose to move over here. And with that, then my turn is in.
You get your turn if you wanted to. It's a jump, it's a move, and then you can turn if you want to.
No, I'm going to stay where I'm at. I'm good.
All right, so that's the end of the call. So that's pretty much the end of turn 1 here, folks. So anyways, Paul just showed you everything. So honestly, I think we will do our movements, do our stuff, and then we'll show you what all our blue cubes are and where we've ended up and all of that. So it is now my turn as we move into turn 2. All right, so for turn 2, folks, let's talk about it. Once again, we do the card. First up, I have to reset my evasion to 3. Paul does not reset his evasion until he reactivates. Then I need to vent 5 cubes. I'm going to vent the 2 red and 2 blue. Then I make my short, make my turn, and then my short, which I will show. So after I have moved, that's where I end up. So now I'm going to go to my parts card. I'm going to do my part cards, and then I will show you what I did and where I ended up. Although let's talk about what I did. I used my thrusters here to go forward long and gain an extra evasion, putting me to 4. Then I use my fins to make a turn, and now I'm going to use my lasers. Here, I'm range 1 through 3. I can tell you where I've ended up now is roughly within range 1 through 3 to shoot Paul. And I'm also in my guide. It tells you where exactly my gun shoots. So my gun had to find its targets in there, and I can assure you Paul is there.
Oh yes, Paul is definitely there.
All right, so let's talk about how shooting works. So first we paid our costs. Now we are going to determine the hit number. So the indicator of the crosshair there, I indicate 2. So I get plus, then Paul's evasion. Paul, you're still at 2 evasion, correct? All right, so I get 2 dice to roll here. There is no evading in this game, folks, so whatever I hit on Paul. So anyways, I'm looking to roll 2 dice, and each dice either shows greater than or equal to what it is. So 4, so I need to be a 4 or greater. If I hit a blank, it's always a miss. If I hit a crit symbol, that is a crit.
And the crit symbol is?
For the middle flame. There you go. Flame symbol on there. Anyways, we would deal damage. There's no modifiers right now. No way I can modify or change my dice here. We deal the damage straight out. There's no dodging. We apply hit effects and resolve critical hits. I got a 5 and the 1. So I just deal 2 damage to Paul there. 2 damage. Woohoo! Look at me go. Look at me go. All right, so after dealing that good 2 damage, that is it for me, everybody. I don't think I want to put any more cubes. No, I think I am good. So Paul is going to do all his card activations. We'll show you after his ship card is completed. That's where Paul has ended up. He's vented every one of his cubes off his ship card here. So now Paul's going to go into his parts phase, and we'll show you what happens at the end of all that. All right, folks, Paul has decided to use his fins, and then he's going to use his guns to shoot me with 4 dice. He's looking for 6 or greater. We got
Nothing.
a 1, 2, and a 3.
Nothing.
Nothing there.
And that would resolve. Got that done.
So Paul still has stuff he can do. We will show you if he does any more. Round 2 has finished. Paul is going to be staying there. Round 3 for me. So let's continue with how we're doing it. I'm going to reset myself, mint some cubes, move, show you where I post moved for, of course, for the ship, and then I will show you everything I've done with the parts. So after all of that, my movement, I have collided with all. Oh no! So collisions happen when we overlap or anything like that. So when we overlap, I basically get to be placed anywhere around Paul's base as long as I do not change my facing and do not change my direction. And then Paul and I are going to roll dice based on our ship's size. We're both size 4 ships, so we're both going to roll 4 dice. Every 5 plus is a damage to the ship. Criticals do work here as well. Now, the Sabre does have the ability to allow me to re-roll 1 die whenever I'm at a collision. So I will roll up here first. We got 2 in there, but I do get to reroll, so I'm going to reroll this blank with my Sabre ability. And Paul will take 2 damage for that. Now Paul will force come at me with his 4 dice. He will deal me 2 damage as well. Okay, so I go down to 11. So that's just a collision there, folks. So anyways, now I have to go to my parts phase. I will complete that all for you. All right, folks. Well, that's where I ended up. I used my thruster to do the bottom thing of turn, move short, turn, move short. Then I did my movement fins to turn 2. I was trying to use my blade wings to attack. Unfortunately, I didn't get into the attack range. I did not overlap Paul there. I needed to, of course, ram into him with the blade wings. I have to overlap. So anyways, it's time for Paul's, of course, turn. We will show you where his ship ends up after the ship card, and then where he does with his parts. So just to show you, Paul's ship has landed there upon finishing the ship card. Paul is now deciding on his parts cards. We'll return to you once we know what Paul's doing. Paul finished his movement there. Just to show you, he used his pod to then go long and then U-turn himself. And then he shot missiles. So anyways, 4 missiles. They're on my chassis card. Missiles detonate at the end of my activation. So we'll have to wait for that. So now it is, of course, round 4. So I'm going to, of course, do all my chassis card, and then we will return to you all where I post movement, and then I will do my parts card. So there's my post movement for my chassis card. Now I'm going to go into my parts cards. For my first part card, I decided to use my Gatling gun, which I totally am forgetting that is actually on this ship, so sorry to everyone about that. I'm going to use its anti-missile ability here. So how I do that is I look at each of these little missile tokens on the back here. It says that there's a 5 on it. And of course, the rest of the stuff is just for Paul for hitting me in the face. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking to roll 5 or greater to try to knock out these missiles. And for me, I got 2 7s in there, so I knocked out 2 missile. Yay! There's still 2 missiles on me right now. So I am going to use the CPL Mantis Laser at Paul. I'm going to get 2 dice. Paul, what is your evasion? 2. 2. And I have 2 hit on this. So I'm looking for 4 and better. That is nothing. Yay. For my final card, I'm going to spend my final energy and 2 red cubes to put my evasion up to 5. And that is it for me. So it is Paul's turn. So we will check out his movement after he has finished his. Actually, no, we got missiles to resolve. All right, Paul. So you got some missiles here. So you get to roll 1 die for each missile. So you are looking for a 5 up. on 2 dice. That is a critical hit. Oh no! Critical damage. I will at least take 2, putting me down to 9. All right, so now that Paul has a crit, he's going to roll a dice. And then if he hits a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, that part is disabled. When that part is disabled, it vents everything on it. So let's see what Paul rolls. He rolled a 1. My cockpit is now disabled. Well, we did vent the object. What's more painful is that if you get a hit with a critical that has red on it, you take the damage for the heat. I took 2 more damage. I'm at 7 health left. Whoop-de-doo. Well, anyways, it's Paul's now time to go through his ship card and do all of that. All right, so Paul has decided to collide against me. I'm only at 7 health. So Paul's collision, so he overlapped me in the front, so Paul decided to go here. He does go to this debris cloud, so he does gain an adjacent energy here, or no, another agility, but the agility does not matter when you're in a collision. Anyways, I'm going to roll up. Paul, it's your turn. Why don't you roll up? We got 3 of them. 3. I go down to 4 left on me. That's gross. All right, now I get my 4. And I'll get 2 crits and a hit. Ooh, 2 crits and a hit, and I'm going to re-roll this with my ship. Nope. Okay, so I go down to 8. Down to 8. Now, your ship ability says that if for the first crit, if you want to read it,
If I have no disabled parts, I get to choose which part is disabled.
so you get to choose first what part gets disabled.
We definitely ain't getting rid of the missile pad, because the light missile, because I'm not taking 3 hits. I mean, I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy.
All right. Don't want to. So Paul gets to choose which one he wants to.
I'm just going to do the cockpit for now.
All right, the cockpit. Now I get to roll for the other one. Again, it's 1 through 6.
So 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right.
7.
7. Okay, you are the defender, so you get to choose what gets disabled because I hit a 7.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to get rid of the XF-23 wings.
All right, and so again, if you want to repair, there's a repair cost. You have to pay the energy, but it does flip the card over, but you can't use the part.
Right.
All right, so that's pretty much it for Paul's chassis card there. So now Paul's going to do his parts cards and we'll return to you all once Paul has finished that. All right, well, Paul has decided to jump long, U-turn, and shoot me in the rear full. So Paul is going to reduce his hit number by 1. So I'm having an evasion of... Actually, you need to put your cubes on your card there, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
Yes, 2 there. But anyways, Paul has, of course, got a hit value of 2. No, hit value of, 2 plus my 5 would be 7. But since he's in my rear full, is in my behind right now, he reduces that by 1, so he gets 6. And if he hits a damage, I take another damage regardless of the number of hits. So we're looking for 6 or better. We got
Not a crit.
Yes, a singular crit. Oh no, well that is 2 points there because regardless of the hit. Now the critical goes off. All right, so 2 through 5, 6 right now, fully open. 4. Okay, so for 1, 2, 3, 4, I do not take any additional damage. If it had been a 5, I would have taken another. If it had been a 2, I would have taken 2 more damage and actually died. That was close. That was close. Anyways, Paul only really has 1 more blue energy. He could do anything with it.
I gained and I'm done with it.
All right, nothing doing with it. All right, it's my go as we enter round number 5. So there is my post-moon for my chassis card. So now it's time for my part cards. Well, all I did was use my maneuver fins a turn twice. I really don't have much else I really can do here on my card. So anyways, it's Paul's turn. We will show you where his ship ends up going for, of course, the chassis card, and we'll see if Paul can win. And he only needs 2 more hits here, and I am dead. I did fix my cockpit, by the way. Just make sure everyone knows that. Paul has finished his chassis movement there. He starts off with his cannons going, pew, pew. Is this it? Is this my death? Anyways, we are looking for a 5 or greater on 4 dice. We got
5 or greater on
5, 3. Oh no, that's enough. I'm dead. All is the victor. All right. Well, anyways, we're going to jump into that post-game discussion. Well, I would have thought, but here we are. This is the first post-game discussion in the new house.
Right. The comfy chair.
A comfy chair after standing around all day.
Yes, time to take a break.
I'm taking a break.
Of course, I'm old. I got knees. My knees aren't as good as they used to be. So there's a chair right here beside me that I usually sit in anyway. So it's all good.
But anyways, snapshots. You know, she still like it. We've tried 2 games now. This is our first game here. I think it's, I will be honest, I think it was pretty janky on the recording. Honestly, I think if I was going to do when we do the next one, I think it's all going to just be, here's where we are, here's where what we did, and here's the ending movement, like start, finish, here's what I did with the parts cards. Sure. Honestly, I think that can be a little bit better than what we did, but again, first time doing a battle report with this game.
Exactly. And I like the game. I do. This is a game that I really think that younger kids could really get into. Now, there is some nuances with the blue cubes, red cubes, stuff like that, but it's not so intricate that somebody who's 10, 12 couldn't do, or even 8. I mean, you just got a little bit of math skills and like basic math, addition, subtraction. You're not multiplying and, measuring out distances. It's pre-measured for you on the little tool. I actually think it's really good for even younger kids to get into into a type of game like this. So I like it. I really do.
I mean, we haven't seen it, but you literally can just kind of build whatever ship you kind of want with like ship cards and stuff. So we haven't really seen it. My plan really is if they're at Gen Con this in 2024, I do plan to pick up some more. They had more ship stuff and stuff like that. Sure. I think it's a lot of fun, especially when you can get even more ships on it. We'd have to expand out the 3x3 map.
That was my question. Could we actually have a larger map?
I think we could do a smaller one. I think it's a 4x6, so I think it'd be the full table, or it's at 3x5.
Okay.
So it goes up to a larger mat size. So, but again, that'd be if we were playing 2 or more ships on it. But as a 1-for-1, a 3x3 mat really works. And again, like when I was at Gen Con, the person has said that it's like Star Wars X-Wing, but all the obstacles are actually friendly to you. You want to be in the obstacles.
I agree with that, because you don't want to be in the gas clouds. You don't want to be in a debris field in Star Wars X-Wing. It's been a long time since I played it, but I just remember you don't want to be in it because it causes issues. This actually helps.
Yes, it does. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of interesting concept. The blue cubes, the energy, all of that. The dice are, in the game, so you don't need to get D6 or anything like that. Yeah, all there. You get enough blue cubes, enough red cubes, and the starter box actually come with, I think, is like the starter for like the Kickstarter if you backed it. So it's really nice. So there's even more cards, specialty stuff in there. So honestly, I think we're gonna bring it to the channel some more. Yeah. Honestly, like I said, our plan is to do each one of the pre-constructed ships, and then we'll play our own constructed ship, just see what amalgamations we make up. And then, like I said, I think for recording, we're kind of going to do the method of, here's where we begin, here's where we end, here's what we did. But for a first, time going through it, I don't think it's too bad. I just think it was a little jank for me, but at least it'll be jank for me when I record, maybe jank for you when you watch. But that's because I'm also the sole editor, and I do try to get these battle reports very, very nice and very, very crisp.
1,000+ subscribers, I think they're pretty pleased. For the public, though, tell them how much the starter kit is, because I don't even know.
I think this kit I bought at Gen Con, I think I paid $70 for it. But then again, like I said, it was the backer kit. So if you backed it on Kickstarter, this is, I think, the kit you got. Maybe it was $70. I can't remember. It was like back in 2023 when I bought it.
Okay. Yeah, it has been a little bit.
In fact, they were selling it at Adepticon this year when I was at Adepticon. They were selling all the other little parts as well. And I think they want to do tournaments and stuff. I could feel like you could really get into like some interesting competitive builds.
Yes, I agree. As for the viewing public, I was thinking more along the lines of like, cost efficiency. I mean, you don't have your dice are included. All your parts are included. It's multiple things. I think that $70 with everything already coming with it is actually pretty good. I'm sure for those of you who watch this, who do Warhammer 40K or any other painting build kit, you're like $70. That's chicken feed money, as my grandfather used to say, because Warhammer is a very expensive game when it comes to buying the parts, painting, all that stuff.
Those your 3D print thing.
Well, 3D printing would help. Well, yeah.
Get into a little cheaper again.
True.
Unless you don't own a 3D printer like myself, then you have to go to someone else to help 3D print.
Right.
You own it. If you own a 3D printer, honestly, you can get it off very cheap to just building your own unique army. Again, now if you're going to go to official Games Workshop tournaments, you have to have their models. But if you're going to play your local gaming store, and they really don't
matter. Yeah.
They'll just play your.
I was just curious what it costs us because I mean $70 isn't really. Yeah, I mean you got to save up a little money for it, but yeah, I mean $50 still it's like that's not bad. But everything comes with it. You don't have to go buy extra stuff.
I mean, heck, even if you just bought it for yourself, there's ships actually act as AI, so you can even just play it for yourself. Like,
oh, that's cool. That's something I don't know.
Ships, yeah, will act like AI. It's just like single player missions in there. If you're not got someone to play with, you can do the ships act as an AI ship. You do all the movements and stuff, but it'll tell you exactly how the AI ship should work and function and do its all.
That's actually a good way to practice, too. If you don't have somebody near you that can practice and play the game with, if you're trying to be competitive, then you could practice on your own. That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, you can just play the missions in there with the AI ships just for some fun if you really want to.
Sure.
But yeah, I think even at the price I paid maybe back in Gen Con, which of course now is like spilled milk money, I've since passed Gen Con of 2023 now.
We're headed for 24. So.
Yes, we're heading for 24. But I mean, you get a lot of it. I mean, 2 ships that can be built in 3 different methods. Even in this box set that was like the Kickstarter one, you do get a whole bunch of more cards, a whole bunch of more parts. So, I mean, this is the box that they'll sell to you after all the Kickstarter stuff. Like, this is now the box that gets you into the game. Honestly, it's a good value.
You're getting virtually 6 ships once you different builds and stuff. So
and then you can pretty much just start playing and building your own ships and having your own fun and stuff. And
I like it.
You get
I do like
boot cubes. You just need 7. You got more if you need spares, especially if you have more ships on the board. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. Again, if we messed anything up, just let us know down in the comments. This is our 3rd time playing the game. And again, it's the first time recording it, so it's a little different when you're trying to record and stare at the book at the same time to make sure you're getting everything. So yeah, let us know if we did anything. Let us know. Of course, we'll go through this. We'll go through more of the battle reports. Don't worry, they'll be coming up in the future and all of that. Don't worry, it's not going to just be a one and done series. It'll be mixed in with our Blood Red Skies, our Combat Storm, all the other stuff we want to bring down the line. Because trust me, there's a lot of stuff I want to play in here. There's a lot of stuff I want to bring to the channel, the Star Wars X-Wing. So yeah, it's going to be mixed in there. Don't know how much mixing in there matters on what we do when we record and all of that, but it will be mixed in there. Do not concern yourself. We will be bringing you content. Now, with that said, if you liked this video and this battle report, you want to make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash the bell icon so you notify when our videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragon's Miniatures.